Dave, I just got $11.50 off my next subscription to McAfee antivirus software because of a class action suit. I owe this to the class action lawyers.
You're buying the beers today, huh?
No. Well, I'll buy mine. I'm cheap, as you know. But you know, what happened was that McAfee, was not transparent on the price, so lawyers got together, sued them. They got a little bit from all these thousands and thousands of customers, and lawyers sued them. I would never sue them over $11.50. Right. But I'm sure the lawyers got millions from McAfee for themselves for this class action. I got $11.50. I'll take it. This is going to be more difficult very soon for people with bank accounts and credit cards, because all of those people sign these little agreements saying, arbitration. You can't sue us, which means that there can't be class actions. Along came the Obama administration with their Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and put in a rule saying you can't do that. Guess what happened next?
A lot of class actions.
No, of course. Republicans get a hold of Congress, and they just passed a bill, both the House and the Senate, that says that you can't forbid these arbitration provisions in these banking contracts. Right. These banking contracts are bank accounts and lawsuits. So
consumers have to go to arbitration where the evidence shows that banks win most of the time.
Well, consumers almost never go to arbitration. Arbitration is a pain in the neck. Yeah. So they almost never go, and especially you have
for small loss. Yeah, because their losses are relatively small individually.
Most of the times they don't even know they lost anything. Right. I wouldn't know I lost anything from McAfee. So the only hope, if you're like a victim of Wells Fargo's making up these little accounts for
or Equifax.
Your only hope of getting anything is if these lawyers come in and file a class action. Of course, the lawyers really cash in for themselves. Millions and millions and millions. And the question is, are they willing, pay me millions, Mr. Bank, and you could pay a few cents to my clients. That's the argument against this stuff.
Well, the banks argue that exposure to class action suits raises their costs tremendously, which they have to pass on to consumers.
Sure.
Now, the problem with that argument is there was an antitrust suit against certain credit card banks about 7 or 8 years ago, and so to settle the suit, those banks agreed that they'd drop their mandatory arbitration clause. They didn't reduce the interest rate on their credit cards or stop charging fees because I should say they didn't start charging more for their
of course, because they're getting sued left and right. Yeah.
There was no change in fees.
Competitive pressures.
Yeah. So it's an argument that may hold some water in theory, but in practice it hasn't been borne out.
And what this is frees the banks and the credit card companies to cheat everybody just a little bit, be unfair to everybody just a little bit. And as long as you don't do it too much to a particular person, you're cool, but add them all together and you made millions.
Well, and this comes in the wake of two major financial scandals. We had the Wells Fargo fake account scandal and Equifax data hacking. If this law takes effect, consumers will have less recourse against big companies like that.
Freedom to Screw Consumers Act, we can call it that.